Hello, world, and welcome to another SpiderOak Live broadcast. I am Adam Turvitt, the head of SpiderOak's Customer Success Department. I'm super excited you're here and ready to learn more about CrossClave version 5, which is our newest release that went out live yesterday. So just by way of introduction, CrossClave, of course, is SpiderOak's newest application. It is aimed at individuals who want to have secure file access in the cloud, meaning you don't have to keep files locally on your computer. And it's aimed at groups that want to have a way to do secure group collaboration. This is an app that we've been working really hard on for years now, and we're super excited with where it's at and where it's going. So CrossClave is something that internally here at SpiderOak we use every single day. We do the majority of our internal work on inside this app. So we're really excited whenever new features ship, and this release is particularly notable for a couple of different reasons, and I'm excited to tell you about them today. So without further ado, let's get into what's in version 5. So with each CrossClave release, we pick a little mascot. Here's our mascot for this release, the cute little peacock spider. The main things you're going to see in this version of CrossClave, which were in progress for a while, weren't quite ready for the last version, so we get them in this version. First, two notable things that have changed within the chat space, which I'll show you in just a minute, are an emoji picker as well as @space mentions. So if you commonly use any applications that involve group chat, having emoji support is a pretty standard thing. We've always supported emojis. We just never had a picker there in the text edit area that you could just click and search for the emoji you want and send it out. So that's something new that we've added. Small thing, but man, it's a lot of fun to play with, and we've already had a lot of fun with this. Second thing is @space mentions. So as of version 4 of CrossClave, we had actually version 3, but improved in version 4, we had the ability to send @mentions to specific people within a space. This is a really essential feature when you're working together as a team in a collaborative way. You need to be able to send notifications to people so that you can get their attention. Well, in version 5, we've taken that to the next level, which is allowing you to ping an entire space at the same time. And again, I'll show you this in just a few minutes, but this is an important part of making CrossClave the kind of tool that your team can use for collaboration in whatever way it is that you work. The third thing, which is really part of our long-term roadmap and something that we are excited for the direction this is going, is improvements in file conflict resolution. Over the next few releases, you're going to hear me talk quite a bit about what we call the new file experience. We have been working on the file experience in CrossClave for over a year now, and we are on the cusp of having a new file experience ready for you. Now, this will include some really major things that aren't in CrossClave yet, but they're coming. They just are taking a while because they are a from the ground up revision of how we interact with files. So two notable things here that are coming, and in version 5, we get a little bit of foreshadowing for. First thing is subfolders. Subfolders are really an essential part of any file system you're going to work in, and coming with the new file experience will be the ability to add subfolders to a specific space so that you can better organize the files within that space. The second thing that the new file experience brings is a better, more streamlined way of interacting with your files so that when multiple people are working together on a collaborative project, using the files in a space, they are able to avoid file conflicts. Now, what do I mean by file conflict? Well, let's say that a group of 5 people are working on a PowerPoint presentation. If all 5 people open the same file, then save and commit the same file, we're going to have 5 different versions of this file. In the past, CrossClave didn't do the best job of notifying you when there were multiple versions of a file that were in conflict. So as a version 5, and as a next step towards the new file experience, we let you know as soon as we're aware that there are conflicts on any file within the files area of a space. And then you can go into the file details and you can see all of the different versions. We have unlimited versioning, which is kind of a core thing that SpiderOak does. So you're able to go in and resolve those conflicts by looking at various saved versions of a file, merging the changes that you want. This way, nobody loses any work and you're able to work collaboratively. This is a hard problem, by the way. I don't know about you. Pretty much every piece of collaboration software I've ever used has ended up eating my file. I had one particularly infuriating experience with Evernote, which generally is a good product, but I lost 2 days worth of notes by sharing a note in Evernote with a friend who accidentally deleted it, and Evernote gave me no way to retrieve that work. So we're working really hard to make sure that, 1, you will not lose your data when you're working collaboratively, and 2, you have an efficient, streamlined way to resolve file conflicts. When multiple people are working on a file, this is going to happen. We want to make sure it's easy to not lose data and to resolve those file conflicts. So let's take a look at CrossClave. So here, let me get out of the way. Okay. So here we have CrossClave. And let's start in the chat area so that you can see a little bit of the changes. So within any space, here's my CS demo team and my space called the Lowdown, which, by the way, is an homage to my favorite jazz bass player, Christian McBride. He has a great show on SiriusXM called The Lowdown, so that's my music recommendation for the day. Check out Christian McBride's Lowdown show. All right, so within a space, of course, you have 3 different tabs: the Files tab, the Chat tab, and the People tab. So if we look at the People tab, here in this space, it's me and my good friend Kelly. So when I come into chat, there are a number of different things I can do. First is simply to send a chat message, right? And you can do that by typing it out and returning, and the message goes out into the world. Now, an at mention is something that you'll probably use quite a bit. We have a couple different ways of accessing this. On desktop, of course, you can just type the at symbol, and it will show you a list of the people that are in this space, and you can select by either clicking or by highlighting and hitting enter, and then you can, CrossClave will insert a notification, an at mention, and then you can type the rest of your message. That will send Kelly a notification. Now, within the at mentions, of course, there are multiple ways that you can get to these. You can either type an at symbol, or you can just simply click the mention someone button. On mobile, this is particularly useful because for example, on my Android phone, I don't have a clear way of getting an at symbol on the first page of my keyboard. I have to go into the second page where the symbols are. I really like having that little at symbol there, because then I don't have to go into a secondary page of keyboards. All right, so the new thing we've introduced is the at space mention, which will ping everybody who is in a space. This is useful in a lot of different situations, of course, but in for example, in the CS department, the customer success department, we have multiple members of our team. And so when we're working together in the support queues, or we're helping to onboard a customer or something like that. If somebody needs help from the rest of the team, it's great to be able to go into the chat and @space and ping the whole team all at once. So you can see here, Kelly replied to my chat. So I get a couple different places of notification here in the space list. The notification icon changes. Also, when I focus on this space, it shows me how many new messages there are. If I'm not mentioned, it will be a bubble that is not filled in and just has a number. If I am mentioned, it'll be a solid fill like this. And then all I need to do to clear that notification and clear the high water mark is click into that space. All right, so let's, I'm going to be really annoying here and @space everybody. So this creates a notification for everyone in the space, including me. And I'll tell you why I like this, because @space mentions, they can be really annoying. And, you know, with great power to ping an entire space comes great responsibility. So it's good that I get a notification too when I ping an entire space, because that's the price you got to pay when you have this kind of power. All right, a couple other things that are fun. Let me show you a few of the things that are different with formatting. So when we click the show formatting button, this of course gives us normal text formatting things: bold, italics, underline, strike through, and a link module. So what this does is it gives me the ability to put in a link without having to just paste in a link, right? I can make a pretty link. So I can take the text of the word website and make it link to SpiderOak.com. This is something that we had before in version 4. What's new in version 5, though, is from a security standpoint, it's not a great idea for pretty links to not come with a notification. Meaning, you don't want people to just blindly click links and not know where it's going to take them. So starting in version 5, when you mouse over a link or click on a link, it will give you this warning, which says you're about to open, and then it shows you the URL that you're going to, and then asks you if you want to proceed. This is really important for your team. Not that anybody on your team is going to be malicious on purpose, but it is important from a security standpoint that people know where a link is going to take them. If you want to open this link, you feel okay about this URL, just click open. You can hit cancel to clear out of it. So those are a couple of different things that are new with the chat space. Now, let's go into the files and look at a couple of different things that we can see in the file details. So one thing you'll notice about the files tab is we've done some work on rearranging the size of these columns. Each of these columns is sortable. So you can sort by name, you can sort by update time, you can sort by file size. And if there are any other sorting options you would like to see, please let us know. We want to make this as useful as possible. Also, as part of the new file experience, which is coming soon, there will be a search for file names, which should make working with large spaces that have a lot of files much easier. All right, let's go into this Cromwell hike to the ocean. And I want to look at the file details. So you can see when you click on this button, which shows you information about this file, you can either see file details or version history. Let's go into the file details. And this gives us some metadata about this file. When was it created? When was it last modified? What's the file size? And who created or modified this file? Then we can go into the version history. The version history shows us there's version 1, there's version 2. And we can see everything from the time that it was uploaded, the size of that file, and at any moment we can, let's say Version 2, I made a change. I decided I don't like that change. I can come here and say set as current version. So I can revert from V1 to I can make V1 my new current version. And this, if you have 15 or 16 or, however many different versions of a file you have, you always have the ability both to open an older version so you can view it, see the reversion details, and set it as the current version. This helps make sure you don't lose data as you're working with files inside CrossClave. So I'm going to set this as my current version. You can see CrossClave reverted that. And rather than changing the V1, V2, making V1 into V2, now our current version is V3, which originally was V1. We just want to make this as easy to work with as possible. And, let's be honest, is version 3 different than version 1? Yes, because the time that it became a new version is different than the time of V1. So we've put a lot of thought into how we should work, how we should present these different versions, and how we allow you to interact with the versions in order to make sure that, again, you don't lose data and you have a convenient way to work with any of these different versions of your files. All right. One thing that is unique about CrossClave, of course, it's different than an application like Dropbox. While it is possible to have non-local copies of files in Dropbox, we have non-local copies by default. So when you're in the version history, one of the things you can see is if you have any local copies of this file. On my hard drive, I don't have any local copies of this file because I haven't opened this file from CrossClave. If I do that now, that launches this file, and you can't see that because I don't have that window focused, but when I do that, it's going to change because now I do have a local version. So anyways, this is just some changes we've made to the way we interact with files in CrossClave, and more changes are coming to make this experience better. In particular, we want to make sure that this experience is really seamless for people who are on mobile. And I'm going to try hard to make sure that in my next video, I also give you a glimpse at the mobile version on Android so that you can see how interacting with files works there. We do some really, really cool stuff. For example, let's say I opened one of these images from CrossClave on my Android phone into the default image viewer. We don't actually save a copy of that image to your photo roll. We're a security application, right? That doesn't make sense that you're taking files and data from a secure location, CrossClave, and dumping them into the potentially unsecure file roll, photo roll of your device. So we actually allow you to stream a file from CrossClave into the Android file system temporarily. And once you've finished working with that file, it disappears from the file system completely. Pretty cool stuff. Now, does everybody need that level of security all the time? No, but you're interacting with the file just as you would normally. It doesn't really have a cost in terms of the processing power required by the device or the lag or anything like that. So we've structured CrossClave to be as secure as possible, specifically for mobile. All right. A couple more things I want to just show you. We have, let me add one. Sorry about this. Let me add one more thing here. Here we go. On our website, you can go to the downloads page at any time. You can access this down in the footer where we've got downloads. And you can see all the versions of CrossClave we have. If you're a Linux user, rejoice, because as of this most recent release, we do have an alpha version for Linux. We're shipping this as a Debian package, a DEB installer. And if you're on a Debian-based system, this installer should work well for you. If you're not on a Debian-based system, please feel free to download this, repackage it so that it'll work for your distro. Linux is important to us, and it's always been important to us. So if you're a Linux user, please try this out. We really want to know what you think, and we want to make sure that we make CrossClave for Linux a good experience for those of you who are on Linux. Sometimes on Linux, you don't have as many options when it comes to secure file collaboration. We want to make sure that we are one of the top choices for people like you. All right, so we offer extensive release notes on each of our releases. You can get to these from the download page. Just click on release notes, which will take you to see all of our release notes. And if you click on our most recent release, you'll see the release notes that we have on our help center. This gives you all of the details about the new features, chat features, bug fixes, etc., that went into this release, as well as the installer hashes, the SHA-256 hashes, because we want to make sure that you feel comfortable installing the installer if you are the kind of person who likes to check your hash sums. So please feel free to go through all of our release notes for this version. We're really excited about the way that this version 5 moves CrossClave forward, makes it a better application to use in your day-to-day work. All right, so if you're not on CrossClave yet, please come join us. We have a free version available. You can get it by going to spideroak.com/crossclave, which has more details about what CrossClave is, how you might use it, as well as what our pricing is. We have a free tier, and it's very affordable on our paid tiers. Those offer more storage space or a larger number of users available per team. So please check it out. If you're seeing this for the first time and you decide to go out and get a CrossClave subscription, whether it's free or paid, please send me a note. And we would love to talk to you a little bit more, find out more about what you're looking for in an application. So if you go out and sign up for CrossClave, send me an email to swag@spideroak.com, and I will get back to you with a coupon for our SpiderOak swag shop. All right. Thank you for joining us today. I hope this has been a useful overview of version 3. And please keep us in mind for your collaboration needs. Let us know what you want and how we can help. We are available through our help center, through live chat on our website, as well as through our community forum, which is at spideroak.chat. Don't hesitate to get in touch with us, because we want to make your work more secure and easier to do amongst your team through CrossClave and through our other applications. All right. That's it from me, and I don't see any chat notices, so I'm going to sign off for now. We'll be back with another live stream soon. In the meantime, sign up for CrossClave, shoot me an email at swag@spideroak.com, and we'll get you hooked up with a mug or a t-shirt or something like that. Thanks again.